Namo Bhagavate Ramakrishnaya. Om. Salutations to Bhagavan Ramakrishna. Mahendra Nath Gupta, or M, the recorder of the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. We've seen how he had gone through a kind of a crisis, and that led him to Sri Ramakrishna. Generally, life's crises, some are solved, some remain unresolved. This leads one to a greater crisis, and that's a problem. That is a spiritual crisis. And when this comes, like Joseph Campbell showed in his, you can say, the hero with 1,000 faces, the kind of a timeline of these events, the kind of a crisis that comes. And when the crisis comes, then there comes help. And this has been repeated in all mythologies. That's how he showed. It's called a hero myth. And it happens also in movies. And it also happens actually in our lives. There's no doubt about it. So he got acquainted with Sri Ramakrishna fortuitously. But that crisis which he was going through had not become resolved. So even after 7 days of meeting Sri Ramakrishna, he still felt, what's the point in living? It's better to commit suicide. Okay. And then one time Sri Ramakrishna was there, then he said, Sri Ramakrishna, why do you worry? You have a guru. Your guru is always with you. And that made him pause. Those kind of crazy thoughts about people think that you have problems and the best way to solve the problems is to commit suicide. Ha! But that is compounding the problems 1,000 times more. So Sri Ramakrishna said, you have a guru. And if we find that he himself mentions that gradually the situation, the problems at home were resolved. And then he says, in retrospect, we see that God is all auspicious, but we judge things superficially. It was my family problems and my desire to commit suicide that led me to God. Here it is. So it was fortunate that he came to him. And now Sri Ramakrishna said, okay, your guru is with you. One time, one incident made him get even a deeper insight. He had seen Sri Ramakrishna. His words are so simple, they touch the heart, and they are not just regurgitations from books, or some quotes here and quotes there. And then he had seen him also in going to Samadhi. which was kind of novel to him. During one particular incident, Sri Ramakrishna was shown that this is some Pandit. The Pandit was Shashadhar Tarka Chudamani. He was a great Pandit then, in those days. And Sri Ramakrishna said, yes, I can see inside him through his eyes as one can see the objects in a room through a glass too. So we had discussed this in our last talk on what is memory and how the memories or the characteristics of the person can be seen by somebody like Sri Ramakrishna. So M had heard this, he understood this is not an ordinary guy. If he can see there in that Pandit, he can see in me also. So that gave him also a kind of a hope. He had seen in M the signs of a yogi, and that's the reason why he was kind of drawing M to him. That is Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna had also said, though he has got these characteristics, I mean, those inherent qualities of yoga, he said, you see, but you need spiritual disciplines. So M said, is it necessary to practice discipline all through life? Ramakrishna said, no, but one must be up and doing in the beginning. After that, one need not work so hard. Then Sri Ramakrishna is talking about yoga and the yogi's eyes, and their eyes are kind of a look, have a kind of a abstracted look. And he gives the example of a bird sitting down, hatching eggs. Its attention is on the eggs, but its eyes are open, but it has a kind of a distracted look. In the sense, distracted in the sense, an inward look. It's kind of blank look. Eyes are open, but the mind is somewhere else, on the eggs there. So Sri Ramakrishna said, can you get me a picture like that? So M said, hey, I'll try to. And throughout Sri Ramakrishna's life, he couldn't get it. And one of his first books, which was published, the first volumes, he had that picture in that book later on. And then he asked, sir, is it, should I make a little, try to make a little money? He said, no, you cannot ask your guru, should I make money? So Sri Ramakrishna said, yes, it is permissible to do so and to maintain a religious family. You may try to increase your income, but in an honest way. The goal of life is not earning money, etc., but the service of God. In that case, money is not harmful, he said. Then he says, how long should a person feel obliged to do one's duty towards wife and children, the family? He's saying as long as they feel pinched for food and clothing, but one need not take the responsibility of a son when he is able to support himself. So there. So he's asking all these questions. How long should one do one's duties? Saying keep on doing it when, he's saying the blossom drops off when the fruit appears. One needn't do duties till the attainment, when you attain God. So then he says, do you dream about me? And not only here, in other places also he said, do you dream about me? Do you dream? First he said. Yes, and then he describes a dream, that everything is covered with water and there are some boats floating in that water, and he gets into a big boat and there's a huge wave that comes and capsizes all the other boats, and this person is, M here in his boat is kind of frightened, and he sees one person walking across the water. He says, how are you doing that? Oh, there's a bridge under the water. So I'm walking on it. But wait, I'm coming along. Where are you going? It's saying the original word is to Bhavanipur. That is the city of the Divine Mother. Say, I'll come along. No. You have still things to tie up. A lot of loose ends there. So you remember this route and come later. And Sri Ramakrishna will say, oh, that's a good thing. I'm thrilled to hear the story. Yeah, it's time now. It's time for you to get initiation. Now, there were two classes of Sri Ramakrishna's devotees or disciples. And there are always two types of all over the world. There are those who, does God exist? Yeah. But suppose there's no God, then no, everything is collapsed. All what I've done throughout my life is kind of. For them, for this class of devotees, they receive something called a mantra. So there is those who have received a mantra, they are the ones who doubt. They are doubters. Yet they have that inherent faith and belief. Yes, there is something there, but yet it is not, you can say, perceptible. There's still a doubt. So for them, these mantras are given. Oh yeah, 99.99% of us are just with that only. Doubters, take this mantra. Now go. So what this mantra that you receive is going to solve that doubt. Nothing else, nobody else can solve it. That is, the grace of God has come to you through this mantra, and now that's going to help you solve, remove this doubt. There is the second class of it. They don't need a mantra and all. They don't doubt. There are no doubting Thomases. So in this case, Sri Ramakrishna should look at them or just touch them or write a kind of a bija mantra on their tongue or something like that. And that was it. For M, he says, have faith, he's saying. You don't need a mantra, just visit this place. No, just visit. This place means the ekankar, that the ear. Just visit me. Why do you need to have a mantra when you're interacting with someone who is an avatar? That thing hasn't yet become clear. But then he say, okay, come. So M was in that second class of the elite class. Okay. But yes, so he did also write a mystic syllable, the bija mantra, on his tongue. And M did say it. So now everything is going on fine, But his now wife is getting jealous. And the wife was standing by him in all his crises. And now there's another crisis in the wife's life. This guy is now more attracted towards his guru. And that's what the guru does. The guru will start drawing you. There you cannot hold back then. Once the guru starts drawing you. Now the wife started threatening him. I'll commit suicide now. First he wanted to commit suicide. Now his wife wants to commit suicide. And she said, you are neglecting me. I will commit suicide. So the master, Sri Ramakrishna, he tells him, give up such a wife. Now, it's not. So it's just, if the husband and wife, if the husband is giving problems for the wife, it's the other way around also. The wife can give up such a husband. Or the husband can give up such a wife. So he says, if one proves to be an obstacle in the way of spiritual life, give that person up. Let her commit suicide or anything else, if you like. So, at times Sri Ramakrishna was, he wasn't soft. Sometimes he took that glove off and showed what fist is there inside. It's a mailed fist. All the velvet is off now. And M was so stunned. He was leaning against the wall. He was kind of deflated. And that time Narendra and all the devotees were also there. And they also became stunned. Then Sri Ramakrishna says, don't worry. But if you have sincere love for God, all these things won't take place. Nobody will stand as a bar to your attainment of God. So everything comes under your control. That is, it becomes propitious. So he says, the king, the wicked people, wife, husband, sincere love of God may eventually help the wife or the husband to lead a spiritual life. If the husband is good, the wife will follow the example. If the wife is good, the husband will follow the example. So M said this had a more soothing effect on his conscience and his worried mind. Now, again, he's making a kind of Sri Ramakrishna telling you, like there are these two broad classifications of those with a mantra and those without a mantra. You don't need it. There are two groups of devotees. One is the first, most of us, and those generally get that mantra, the mantra group. They want liberation. I want to get liberation. I want freedom. I want this. I want that. They're all kind of geared up. So that is one group of people. There's another group of people. For them, so when we read the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, we must understand whom is he addressing, what is the instruction. So for these people, yes, you go ahead, yes, go, fire ahead, don't stop and this and that. The other group of devotees, he used to say, you see, you don't need to do too many things. So he just said, you must know two things. Who I am. And second, what is your relationship to me? So these are the two things. Yes. So he said, only these two things? How? Oh, it's very easy. Yeah. So if you are in this class, you know that you'll get liberation. With just this knowledge, who Sri Ramakrishna is and what is your relationship with Sri Ramakrishna. So then he says, see, like a parent, the children, they've got some kind of treasure or inherit. The children inherit the wealth and the property, etc. of the parents. There's no inheritance tax there. So similarly, all what I have will come to you all. So it's saying, what is Sri Ramakrishna's wealth? He himself says, my wealth is knowledge, jnana, devotion, bhakti, discernment between the real and the unreal, renunciation, pure love, and samadhi. So you get all these things. It belongs to him. We are heirs. That's why Swamiji in his first talk in the Parliament of Religions in 1893, he said, "We are children of immortal bliss," they say. We are heirs to immortality. If we know this, this is what we will get. Sri Ramakrishna's wealth belongs to these people. Who? Those who know who he is and what is the relation. So how do you start? Yeah. Now he himself says, think of yourself as, I am your father, I am your mother. That's the best attitude. And you can start. And then slowly and slowly, you will see how it deepens. Okay. Now, Sri Ramakrishna was there. Okay. Then what's your idea of God? He had already asked him the first time he met him. Now he's again checking him out. I'd like to think of God as formless, but I also now, you're saying, understand that God alone who manifests as forms. So they say it's okay. Another thing is, he also starts questioning him about what his dreams, the different types of dreams, etc. Saying, do you dream of me? Saying, yeah, I dream of you. And this is what happens to devotees. If you want to know, if you are a devotee of Sri Ramakrishna, I'm a devotee of Sri Ramakrishna. Wait, be careful, wait. He has, Sri Ramakrishna says, Sri Ramakrishna, personality and your personality, they have come blended. You will not be able to extricate your personality from Sri Ramakrishna. When it happens, then you can consider yourself a devotee of Sri Ramakrishna. That. Secondly, they're saying, do you dream about me? Yes. And this is what happens. You will start dreaming about. You will not dream about this thing and that thing and all these things. You will start dreaming. And so then, as he used to get saying, hey, listen, now you don't do any kind of discernment, don't reason anymore. You are a follower of Shakti. Now this is what happens. If you are a follower of Shakti, that's the Shakti, that's the Divine Mother as Mahamaya. You don't need to. These people who do that discrimination between the real and the unreal and this and that, they are not the followers of Shakti. They are followers of Brahman, Vedanta, They become dry after some time. The followers of Shakti, they don't need to reason. Somehow they feel inside that all is a manifestation of the Divine Mother. And this becomes so firm inside them. They are so convinced. They don't need to reason anymore. And then he should say, so he said, you don't reason anymore, you're a follower of Shakti, and you will get results very quickly. So this is also he's training his disciple. Why is all this? Because see, he had a mission for him. What is the mission? To record Sri Ramakrishna's teachings. And now Sri Ramakrishna's teachings are, he said this, he said that. No, we think that the words that Sri Ramakrishna said are arbitrary, perfunctorily, just casual. No. Every word has a very deep implication for the world. Every word. There is no doubt. Because in the Bhagavad Gita I say, Janma karma chamedev, my birth, my words, and my everything is divine. Those who know it in truth, will not have to be reborn. So the gospel of Sri Ramakrishna is not, people read the gospel of Sri Ramakrishna as like something like, maybe like a storybook or a novel or something like that. No, no. Sure. These are words of divinity, because they have come out from the words of the Master, whose divinity itself. So he is now training the disciple to be perceptive of this, because Sri Ramakrishna's power of observation was tremendous, and he wanted his disciple also to be like that in a way, to see what Sri Ramakrishna saw, to understand what Sri Ramakrishna understood, so that he can write. Otherwise, imagine an incompetent person writing about some great person. It's not possible. It's just impossible. It's like, like Swamiji says, and it's a common saying. Somebody was asked, can you kind of make an image of Shiva? And he's saying, yeah, sure. And then he took the clay and he was molding the clay in the form, trying to make an image of Shiva. He ended up making a monkey. So to take down the words of Sri Ramakrishna, you must have some stuff inside. And Sri Ramakrishna was injecting that necessary stuff inside to fine-tune all these things. Otherwise, we would not have had this wonderful scripture. Impossible. Why? Because I remember the 13th president of the Ramakrishna mission, Swami Ranganathananda. He has come here to Seattle. He was very popular all over the world. So he's saying, and he was young. When I first read the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, it was a spiritual experience. This is the profound depths of the Gospel. It's not an ordinary book. So, and oh my God, it's amazing. So, you'll find yourself, I've been discussing it, one day you'll find yourself in the Gospel. Sri Ramakrishna is answering all your spiritual queries. So this was Sri Ramakrishna. And then, he's saying, practice a little spiritual discipline and then your Guru will come and lead you forward. And he said that, you see, if I tell you everything now, you'll stop coming here to me. I'm not telling you everything. But he did tell him about his precedents. So you see, when one has a vision not on this plane of thought or this plane with eyes open. It happens in the world of bhava, the spiritual world. But in Sri Ramakrishna's case, he could see with his open eyes of the gods and the goddesses and everything. Sometimes, not all the times. But it was there for him. It was all open. So he's saying, I saw you in one of my visions with these naked eyes, he say. Then he's saying, if that was the case, then why I got entangled in the world to become a school teacher and get married and have children, etc., etc. So he says, yeah, you had a little desire, okay. So, and they're saying, so now that thing also will kind of wear off. So slowly. So that was why Sri Ramakrishna, he's teaching him like, okay, you had some desires and you got entangled in the world, and okay, Now that you're there, you're going to come out. Because you say, if I had such a precedence that kind of in my previous birth, I was someone whom you saw in a vision, why am I in this predicament? And this gave M the confidence now. Because you see, what happens is, one time, like Sri Ramakrishna, he was, like, take for instance, when Sri Ramakrishna was going in a carriage, he's looking out of the carriage in the streets, and you're seeing people walking in. And he used to feel happy whenever he used to see a large gathering of people. I saw everybody. Their minds are so saturated with worldliness that hardly one or two of them are thinking in spiritual terms. Now, when Sri Ramakrishna says this, the disciple or the guy who is going to be recording his words, he has to understand this. Secondly, what happens? Like Sri Ramakrishna used to give the illustrations and parables and his teachings, very insightful. The disciple not only had to have good memory, but also a very vivid imagination. Because Sri Ramakrishna used to say that somebody asked Sri Ramakrishna, how do you prepare all these parables in advance? No. The Divine Mother herself, she reveals to me. She shows me in pictures, and then I say those things. So all these parables are what Kali used to show him, and he used to look at that picture internally and say those things. Now the disciple also has to have that kind of faculty, at least a little, to kind of perfectly picturize what was said and to put it down. So you had to have memory, you had to have a tremendous imagination also, the visualization of things. So Sri Ramakrishna should train him at times. He say, you remember what I had said? Then the M used to repeat it. He said, no, that's not the way I said it. I said, oh yes. So he was correcting his powers of noting down things exactly as Sri Ramakrishna had said it. So he is leading him slowly to Sri Ramakrishna. At one time, Swami Shivananda, he was very intently looking at Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna said, what happened? That's not your work. That is, he wanted to remember what Sri Ramakrishna was saying, was teaching, and then note it down. So he had a small diary and he had the pencil, and he was kind of, that's not your work. So Swami Shivananda understood. He took all that diary, whatever notes, and immersed it in the Ganges. So Sri Ramakrishna had earmarked M to do this work. And so he used to go along in his carriage. He used to see him morning and night, whenever he was there. For 5 years, he was there along with Sri Ramakrishna. He used to go to visit various devotees, listen to conversations, etc. And the entire gospel of Sri Ramakrishna is his first-hand observation when he was there. Not he heard. And if he had to note that, say, I heard so and so mention this to me. So he was very authentic, and no pleasurism there. He was present at every meeting and every conversation, and and every kind of, you can say, Sri Ramakrishna spiritual experience. Okay, we stop here for today. We also, to make a kind of announcement, tomorrow at Tapovan, a retreat at Arlington, we have a retreat on yoga and Vedanta. It will be conducted by the two nuns from San Francisco, Priti Prana and Veda Prana. So it's a whole day, intense spiritual retreat. So there won't be any class here. I mean, a lecture on Sunday. There won't be also Mother's Children. And the next Sunday, of course, we have What is I? You heard of people saying, who am I? I've decided to say, what is I? If you don't know what is I, you will not say, who am I? And then you go to our website and check our calendar. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.